Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning into today's video. Today's video is going to be a chat and share video. I'm going to do a little bit of chatting and I encourage you to share your thoughts in the comments of today's video. But first things first, if you're new to my channel, hey, welcome. My name is Debatable, and here on my channel, I share my love for all things planning. So I welcome you planner moms, planner enthusiasts, and planner lovers of all types. Today's video, I am going to talk about work-life balance for moms. As a working mom myself, who is also building a business and a brand, navigating motherhood, pursuing passion projects, life can get busy. So we're going to talk a little bit about this concept of work-life balance. So I know that balance is debated a lot. 3 years ago, when I started my blog, Career Mom Community, my motto is and was balance, grow, and succeed. And I remember a very interesting conversation that I had with a woman as I was describing my business, my aspirations, my mission, and my goal to really help working women who are juggling motherhood, competing priorities, career, business, and life to find that balance so that they could grow and be successful. And she kind of turned her nose up at me a little bit and was like, you know what, balance, it just doesn't exist. And I felt some kind of way because in my opinion, we get caught up on the word balance and not the concept of what we should be doing. So I agree, using the word balance is a bit debatable and the term work-life balance is a bit aged. But let's talk about what balance means. So essentially, when you look up the word balance, the definition, at least in the Merriam-Webster's online version, you can easily Google balance and see the definitions for yourself. But one of them is opposing forces are equal to each other. So I can see why there's the mindset that balance doesn't exist because things can't be equal. I'll be the first to admit that is correct. You can't allocate within reason an equal amount of time to your children and your job in one setting or in one day or even in 1 week. Right? There may be some weeks where your attention is more focused on motherhood, and there may be some weeks where your attention is more focused on your career, your business, maybe your other personal ambitions. So no day, no week, no month can be equal. So I agree with that. However, when I was looking at some images of balance, there was a lot of imagery of scales. And on many of the scales, I observed that there was maybe a larger block or larger coins and smaller coins or smaller blocks that balance the scale. So think on that for a minute and we'll come back to it. So another definition is stability produced by even distribution or equal. Essentially, if you look through the definitions, most of them have something to do with equality, equal, balance, kind of that notion. However, let's go back to the imagery that you'll find when it comes to scales. So I wrote down, and I have my notes, so that's why I'm looking down. An even distribution of weight, enabling something to remain upright or steady. To remain upright or steady. I believe one of the goals that we should have is to find that right mix of activity that's going to keep us upright or keep us from falling, dropping the ball, and that's going to keep us steady. So that's my approach to finding balance as a mom. So let's revisit the images of the scales that I told you I observed when I Google balance. And that's often the imagery that you'll see. But let's talk about what goes on either side of the scale. So my approach is smaller boxes may be needed over here and larger touch points or boxes may be needed on this side at any given point. So it could be the week, it could be the day. So let's talk about my day today. I had a lot of work to do for work, and now I'm recording videos for my business. So today's box was huger touch point, or larger, was larger touch points on one side, and I didn't get to spend as much time with my children as I would have liked to. But throughout the day, when I know that scale may tip more heavily towards business or career, I try to find those small moments that are meaningful and impactful to my children to engage with them. So my daughter, she loves telling stories. So I listened to one of her stories that she made up while I was taking down her hair. And she just loved that moment. And with my son, I read a book to him. It was actually a magazine, but he wanted to read it. It was like a old Christmas magazine with like toys and things. And then with my daughter, I have to find something to do with her when I'm done here tonight, just so that I can maintain those touch points that are meaningful and impactful. So let's talk about last week, right? So the scale was tipped way far the other way because I was on PTO and I didn't do as much work in my business. I pushed pause on that so that I could spend that time with my children. We had an amazing weekend. We traveled on Friday. We spent time with family. We watched movies, ate ice cream and Doritos late at night. So that week, the scale went the other way. So I encourage you to think about not just the word and the word choice that people are using, but think about what the path we should take to find that right mix of activity at any given point in time to help us navigate busy mom life. It's not easy, trust me. It's not easy. But there are some systems that we can put into place, such as planning. There are systems that we can put into place to help us prioritize better. There are trainings that we can take that encourages time management, which I know I offer workshops for working women around prioritizing, planning, and goal setting. So there's a lot of things that you can do to enable the balance that this concept evokes. So I encourage you to think beyond the word and think about ways that you can create systems and structure in your life so that you're not burning yourself out along your journey. So the last thing that I'll touch on is some newer concepts that, have arisen over the, past few years. And one of them is harmony. But the interesting thing about individuals who prefer to use the word harmony, I'm not going to knock it, is that when you look up the word balance, there's a verb definition to bring into harmony or proportion. So essentially, we're swapping out one word with a verb that some dictionaries account for it. So we're saying, oh, balance doesn't exist. It's more like harmony. But at the end of the day, one word just defines the other. So do we prefer something that has a little bit more subtle or softer approach, or that may land differently with individuals? So it's important not to get caught up in the words. And then the other that I recently learned about is work-life integration instead of work-life balance, because as we talk through, balance can evoke something that means equal. And so now there's a concept of work-life integration, which I do not prefer because it lands for me as integrating my work into my life. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to bring my work that much into my life. I mean, heck, I'm already working from home. So, my colleagues, coworkers, they've seen my kitchen, they've seen my dining room, they've seen, my backgrounds all throughout my life, which is not a problem because if they follow me here on YouTube, they're probably going to see it anyway. But, this season has welcomed us into each other's home in terms of our work for those who have been working remote. So I'm not sure integration is a best fit perspective because, yes, we should feel empowered to bring our whole selves to work. We should feel empowered to find that right cadence or mix to integrate the different elements of our life. But I don't know. It doesn't land well with me. So let me know in the comments, what wording you prefer. Let me know how you find the right mix of activities so that you can maintain that steady state, that harmony, that balance, that integration, that flow, that process, whatever word you choose to use. Let me know what systems you are putting in place to live the best life possible and to prevent burnout. So let me know in the comments down below. I'll speak to you in the next one.